What's up, guys? This is Ben with Tactical Nutrition, and I am trying this for the last time with this webcam. I need to change up my equipment because this is super laggy. Maybe it'll look better afterwards, but let me know if you got any ideas in the comments. But what I want to talk about is you have so much more control over your health than we are told, and I try almost like not to talk about this topic a lot because I still assume for some reason that people know how corrupt and greedy and ineffective and how much of a failure modern healthcare actually is in the long run. And even a lot of people that I think say they know don't know because the actions prove way more than words. And so what I mean by that is like, this is how I know that people do not really take its complete responsibility for their health is the statistics. Like, I'm going to have to look these statistics up again, but I think, for instance, last time I checked, which was years ago, like 40% of people were on at least one medication. And that could be any medication, that could be blood pressure. I would count Ozempic. Now, that's a whole nother cluster. SSRIs, mental health drugs, anything. Diabetics, diabetes, weight loss, anything. And it was like 10% of the population was on at least 4 medications. Now, a lot of these are like really elderly people, which unfortunately the boomers really just don't get it. They are very propagandized. We all know this by doctors because they end up going to the doctor. The more you go to the doctor, naturally, they are salesmen. They are a for-profit system. They are not there to just waste time on you. They're going to get paid anyway, but they want to get paid more. It's kind of like going to a used car lot and chatting with the employees and expecting them not to try and sell you a car, even if they think they're chit-chatting. We all know that what they're doing. I mean, I know as a personal trainer, when I was in the gym, if people were talking, I was always in kind of the back of my head, hey, how can I help this person and get them as a client, or whatever. But I digress. People are learning that these medications are not only like largely ineffective, unneeded, but they just band-aid the system. They just oh God, I don't even have the mic in front of me. They just band-aid, they put a band-aid over bullet wounds, and over time, the problem will just get worse. Like, if you do have high blood pressure, this is not natural. There's a reason for it. All right? Now, they will tell you, and I'm not giving medical advice, but this is just my opinion, and I know from experience because of a lot of research. I don't know if you've noticed, but they will tell you, well, if you cut back on salt and fat and a lot of the things that are actually healthy for you, and then people end up eating whole grains and all the stuff that raises their blood pressure, and then eventually they're like, well, it's time to get on medication, right? Also, they tend to like drop they create clients. This pharmaceutical industry is so vile, guys. And I'm trying not to keep it too negative, but like it's so vile if you really look at it. I mean, the amount of scams that go on and clever schemes because they are always trying to make more money, and they are making more money. More and more people are overweight. Diabetes is on the rise. All these diseases are on the rise. And they're just making more and more money. It's not even working, right? Now, food has a lot to do with this too, but it would help a little if your doctor knew just a little bit about nutrition. I have met some of the stupidest doctors you would ever imagine when it came to like nutrition, because my clients would go in there, I'd give them a good plan because I know what I'm doing, and actually like personalized. And then they would go in and be like, well, I'm gonna use my doctor. He told me to just eat 500 calories a day. He told me just to eat when I'm hungry. and to keep it whole grains and to remove salt and not have any fat. The stupidest diet ever. And we all know this now because even our government has flip-flopped the food pyramid. Right? I was telling people for the longest time, look, whatever they say, do the opposite. Now, do you want to just like, I'm going on tangents here, but this is very important because I learned firsthand. My story was this. Growing up, I was just your average person. I mean, I was in good shape. I'd say I was in better health than most. Luckily, I never got on any medications. I was just like always wary of them. I was just always like, why would I need a drug? Like, I'm not to get like spiritual with it, but like God created us pretty much exactly how we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? As long as we don't be stupid about it. And especially if you're at any type of young age, even like 40, 50, 60. I know people 70, 80. I know people in their 90s. Now, eventually we're all going to go, but there's no reason why you should be 30 and have high blood pressure or something like that. Like, and if you do, it's going to be because of your diet. But what happened with me is, I was keeping up with the knowledge after school. I mean, after I was out of college, where I went to school for health promotion and wellness, kinesiology, physiology, obviously a lot of strength training, a lot of nutrition, like pretty decent amount of nutrition, not nearly as much as I know now on my own, but I got the basics, which most people don't even get, the basics. But I started making the changes, and I started reading more books, and I read books. I'm like, wow, why is these guys are talking about how healthy fat is, or how healthy organic meat is, or why you shouldn't eat these whole grains, or why you shouldn't eat basically anything that the government tells you to eat. All these processed foods that people always eat. And my health got better. And I didn't end up on a bunch of medications. And honestly, I still feel great. And I've made bad decisions in the past. I've gone through periods where I drank too much alcohol. I never ate terribly bad, but things like that, things that are detrimental to your body. But I knew when I started eating the way that it just felt right, lots of organic eggs in the morning, and I was like, okay, I'm getting these healthy I heard these omega-3s. This is years ago. This is all common knowledge now, but these omega-3s are really good for your brain. Your brain is made of omega-3s, and it's also good for your gut. So where can I get these omega-3s? Oh, wow. Turns out I'm not eating any of the stuff, like fresh salmon, fatty fishes, a lot of olive oil, avocados, and eggs. Now, I might have eaten eggs, but they were caged eggs. You have to understand, this is for another video, but the nutritional profiles of these different foods, like I'll use eggs for instance. This is huge stuff to understand. If you buy the shitty eggs, these chickens are fed a lot of corn. It's not their natural diet. They're not out there eating bugs and like, which sounds gross, but eating what they're supposed to eat. When they eat what they're supposed to eat, then the yolks are oranger and there's more omega-3s. So what happens when all these animals, they're all fed this pork, chicken, industrial, cows, farmed fish, they're all getting like corn because it's cheap. They're getting corn pellets. And so what happens is corn, GMO corn, is higher with omega-6s than omega-3s. So what happens is now the fish that was supposedly salmon, that was supposedly higher omega-3s than omega-6s, now it's flip-flopped. And that's especially true with like cows and pigs and chickens. So I think that's where people get the wrong idea about meat, is if you're just eating like really crappy, I mean, it's worth it to, if you're going to eat meat, pay the extra few dollars to get the quality. But we have to know about this stuff too. Like your doctor's not going to know about this. There's very, very few that do. That's what I'm saying. But once I started changing this around, and of course I was reading a lot about supplements and things, and I was realizing there's so many things I wasn't getting. And there's so many things most people aren't getting. And I do a lot of like Instagram stories on this stuff now, like magnesium, selenium, calcium, even like vitamin E, vitamin C. A lot of people are deficient in these things. If you're deficient in like magnesium, okay, that's going to affect your mood. It can affect your sleep. What happens then? Now you're tired. Now you're on Ambient, right? Oh, now you're depressed because you're not sleeping properly and you're stressed out. So now you're on, what's it called? Xanax and these terrible drugs. And for the rest of your life, though, that's what they're told. I know people personally that have been on these antidepressants for like 40 years. And whatever, that's your body, your choice, right? But has it fucked with them? Definitely. And there's a million side effects. So I am proud of the fact that I do not use any pharmaceutical drugs. I don't use even NyQuil. I don't need to. If I ever had problems sleeping, it usually had something to do with too much caffeine or alcohol. Again, like has a lot of effect, and it's a very popular drug, obviously. Or like too much screen time. Things that you can control, holistic things that you can control to get your health better. So what I'm saying here, though, is if you're watching this video and you're like, I don't know what to do. It sounds good, but I just don't know where to start. Well, you can talk to me. You can send me a message. Or you can, the best thing you can do is like hire a coach or start reading books. Just go to the nutrition section at the library or at Barnes & Noble's. And you have to be selective. But look through and read like 10 books on nutrition. If everyone just read like 10 random books on nutrition, you get so many different viewpoints, so many different directions. You start to connect the dots. The problem is people don't even like to read books. They're listening to the head of Health and Human Services. Have you seen these freaks on TV? These absolute freaks of nature. Not only are they bought by Big Pharma, they're totally paid off by drug companies. That's where they make all their money. And when they get out of Congress, that's right where they go. The revolving door, the FDA, the FDA's pile, CDC's a pile. It's all shit, right? That's where I found most of my knowledge. I have at least 40 nutrition books back there that I've read. Now, a lot of it I just kind of like, I just like to read. But every once in a while I'd find one that would just really nail something. For instance, the book by Dan Bernardot, I'll have to find it. Let Food Be Thy Medicine. It was written in like 1913, but this guy was like, oh my God, it made so much sense. He was talking about vicarious detoxification and your kidneys and how everything's your kidneys and your liver and your skin and how it gets clogged. And then your body tries to detox through different things. That's for another video. But like, all I'm saying is like, and now I'm trying to get that knowledge out to you, and you don't have to be a doctor. That's the one thing. That's how I'm gonna end this video. Is like normies annoy the shit out of me. NPCs, as we call them, right? I just try to avoid them. You cannot get through to these people because what will they say? Well, Ben, you're not a doctor. You didn't go to Harvard. I'm like, if you knew who funded that school, if you knew how little nutrition education those doctors get, and not all doctors, I say maybe 10% of these doctors have a good grasp on nutrition. They have to just be interested in it themselves. And those are some of the best. When you find those, now you've got the best of both worlds. You got the nutrition and the fitness, the stuff that really works. And then he's also a doctor that can help you with different medications if you need them. Because sometimes you need things very short term, not the rest of your life, like these SSRIs and garbage like that. By the way, with SSRIs, one of the biggest side effects is unaliving yourself, because you can't say stuff on YouTube, and unaliving other people. And we see it happen all the time on the news. But I'm not going directly into that particular drug category here. you have to be very careful when you come off of them. But what I'm saying is, you got to find the knowledge yourself. Like if you just watch TV, if you watch like movies, if you listen to these government, again, I can't say enough. I don't have enough contempt for the health and human service people I see on the TV. I'm just like, oh my God, people are listening to them. Like, Rachel Levine, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? My family's like, oh, I'm so proud of her. It's a guy. It's driving me crazy. You're listening to this person about health. Anyway, guys, go out and seek out your own knowledge. Don't outsource your knowledge. That's how I end the video, for sure. Outsourcing knowledge is one of the worst things I think is about humanity. Because that's where it's like, oh, I'm too lazy to go get it, or I don't have the time or the inclination, so I'm just going to listen to the expert, even though you better vet that expert. You better know a little bit about that expert. Because once you realize it's like, oh, they just, all they know is drugs. They don't know anything about nutrition. They don't say anything about nutrition. When's the last time you heard anything? You'll hear people be like, you should walk more. And, people should be more active and consult your physician. I haven't heard a single fucking useful piece of information from our government about nutrition in 20 years. Dr. Oz is probably the closest you'll get, and even he's a shill. So, go to the library, read a book, watch some documentaries, and not on PBS. For God's sake. Don't be a normie about this stuff, okay? The normies are the ones that are all on drugs, for the most part. And you can tell because they have no critical thinking skills. They're just like, it's perfectly fine to take Adderall every single day. But methamphetamine every day for years? Oh, you wonder why you can't sleep? Anyway, guys, I don't even know if this video will make it to YouTube, but we'll try. If you like the channel, I didn't talk a lot about nutrition here, but this is more just about breaking through the matrix of this whole thing. So if you like the channel, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you in the future. Next video.